What up, EVA family? I don't really know what to do today. Honestly, it's just one of them days where, but we in the Bahamas. That's all that matters, man. I don't know if y'all can see properly, but we flowing 2K on SPX right now. Man, oh man, I just need a push. And that's a 3-piece for the day, man. That's all I am looking for. I really feel like today's gonna be more like a vlog over like an educational video, so you know what I'm saying? But we really gonna sit here, just have a chit chat. I don't really know what to do today, but first things first, we finna hop on the bike, kind of see what we got going on.
She did a look for me, but it be my pass already. The boy slippery, me no girl can't go study me. And me up with the beat one quart. Then they see me say fit up the rum talk and go call the lorry client a ball body fee. But she half is any. It don't be real and you see it now my face more. Why stay clean, hygiene, now stay sanitized. Look up on the hygiene, now she wants to deny. Girl, I never scam my boy, so me stay up on the line. No budget, rich and stupid. Client a call, talk, turn off music. Every task sparker, shot fly Trojan. Face and install, let them know I got the sauce already. And I talk about money, don't call me. Tell it, she like the way me chop the beat, she love the dog melody. And when she see me, say she feel one ass energy. She did a look for me, but it be my boss already. The boy slippery, me no girl can't go study me. And me up with the beat one quart. Then they see me, say fit up the rum talk and go call the lorry client a ball with the fee. But she half is silly. She like the way me chop the beat, she like the dog melody. And when she see me, say she feel one ass energy. She did a look for me, but it be my boss already. The boy slippery.
I will. Alright, so right now, I'm on my way to KFC, but I might hit the beach first, low key. So we just closed out on SPX for about 3K roughly. I'm about to be on my way to KFC right now. I might hit the beach first. So we really gonna see what's up.
Yeah, say she want a rich nigga. She not joking, a little Tommy Hilfiger. Top loaded, she want a man to squeeze chigga. She like joking and she ain't no easy girl. Because she knows I'm run off for rich. Me cash the bank up and the 40 a breeze. The cups the place float and the little off a pill. Me pop it just soaking. Me left off for the easy chop. Me learn coding. Yeah, if I no pussy then I dead sentence. You know me that me diva like text man. Plus me day I try see if it the new Benz van. But a girl pa my brain as me make 10 grand. Baby mother day I home and I make tension. A bag of girl in on my phone where me get them from. Some a dance pole, some of them a walk bank. Night shit on or daytime Christian. Yeah, my girl say feel like a boy more for see her. Cause anything him can't afford me I go give you. Couple Benz and make a sport. When I go like that to the fit I want to carry out. I put him on for carry go area. Plus I know some of money can't stop. I press the ground till the wheel won't pop. Full force like a hammer me a knock. Come and make you so scam my back shot. She want a rich nigga. She not joking, a little Tommy Hilfiger. Top loaded, she want a man to squeeze.
I gotta unload my bag real quick because I don't want nobody stealing nothing from me. It's so heavy. So I went through my Instagram last night and I seen a few DMs and majority of them were saying, hey, what was the best setup you used to actually make money? I mean, bro, I trade a lot of different setups and I'm not a setup person. I'm more of like understanding the overall market and taking advantage more than just like setup. So that's something we about to get into right now, man.
All right, so we about to get into the breakdowns this week. We'll be reviewing every single trade that I've taken on, of course, this build this week. This week was primarily an oil week. Every single trade I took was oil. All right. Let me just get that out the clear the air for that. Also, we're gonna go over something else that is really interesting, and it's, I guess I could say, looked down upon within the trading community, but for me, I look up to it. You know, I believe everything has a time and place, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about when we get into this. Also, if you are not inside the EVA community, the link is in the bio. Go ahead and join. Like, it's completely free. I go ahead and send out my daily thoughts, my analysis, all of that good stuff every single day, so you're able to capitalize on the moves. This week we were, I believe, 8 moves played out and 2 didn't, so you were able to definitely catch some great moves this week. Honestly, I've made good money. Everyone else in the chat made good money, so if you're not tapped in, make sure you go ahead and join. Also, is that it? Yeah, I think that's it for announcements right now. Anyways, let's get to work. So the first trade I took on oil was right here on Monday at 9:40 a.m. Now, you're probably like, oh, yo, like there's a whole entire move. Why didn't you hold and catch all this move? Yada, yada, yada. So let me tell you a little bit of backstory right now, okay? I used to trade a 0.5 risk to reward. Now you're probably like, what the hell? Yes, meaning that if I do take a loss, I am going to be set back 2 trades. But with trading a 0.5 risk to reward, I was on an FTMO prop firm at a point a few years ago, and I was able to make around $40,000 just doing this alone. I passed about 6 prop firms challenges doing this alone. And why does this work? Yes, it's looked down upon because typically you do want your wins to be bigger than your losses, and I completely 100% fully agree. But when you do a 0.5 risk to reward and you have a very good hit rate, like me on 1-to-1s, this is what I typically trade, a 1-to-1. I'm winning 75 to 80%, sometimes even 90% of my trades. Now, imagine when I go to a 0.5 risk to reward. Imagine how high my win rate could be. So technically, let's say I win even 10 trades in a row and then I lose 1 trade. I'll be up 8 trades. Let's say I lose 2 trades back to back. I'll be up 6 trades. You know what I'm saying? So it could still work. And then what are the odds me losing a 3rd time, especially going for such a small risk to reward? I could go on another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 win streak. And that's how I was able to kill a lot of prop firms, get a lot of payouts using this alone. Then I adapted to the 1-to-1s, and then sometimes I go for 2, 3, 4, 5s, whatever works at a situation, whatever works for that moment. But when I'm building small accounts, I do believe the most important part of it is stacking your wins. Base hits, brick by brick will build a house, and I strongly believe and support that cause, like that statement. It's very, very important for you to understand. So with that being said, let's get into it. When I took this oil trade, let's go back to my bad. Alrighty, was this Monday? Let's kind of ignore this. This was last week or the week before. Yeah. All right, so oil is pretty simple. All right. I'm gonna even stick to this time frame. There's no need to really go any higher. So all that happened is we pushed down very, very aggressive. It could have been news inflated or whatever happened, but we pushed down very, very aggressive. We came back up and tested this area of resistance. All right, we could just look at it based on this time frame. I keep everything simple, guys. So we're gonna grab my little rectangle tool. We're gonna draw this area that we struggled at before. Y'all see it? We struggled right here, and we struggled right here. All right, so this were my 2 zones I was looking at. This, let's make this black, and then this, let's make this color this, black again, and then we're gonna copy and paste, and then we're gonna drag it down to here. So these are my 3 zones. I noticed that oil pushed up into one of my zones and started giving me some kind of consolidation. Let me back it up a little bit. So this is all I see. And I said to myself, interesting. If we were to respect this zone, because a lot of times when price pushed up, I want you to notice something. When we push up, a lot of times when we create a rectangle, which is consolidation, a lot of times we flip to the opposite direction. We push down, we created another rectangle, and then what do? We pushed up. We pushed up, we created some kind of looking rectangle, and then we push down. So you guys kind of see the formation, what's going on. So now let's even take it on the smaller rectangle. We pushed up again, all right here. We created a rectangle. So I'm saying, okay, we could definitely push down. Now, if we were to respect this area and push down, where would be the first zone we actually face buying pressure? Of course, it would be this area. And how do I know it would be this zone? If you look, you see that price rejected it right here. Let's make this a different color. You see that price rejected right here. You see that price rejected right here. So I'm saying, okay, we could push down and probably reject right here. Now, yes, with that being said, give me a second. I'm looking for my water because I'm low-key thirsty right now. Let me grab my water real quick. All right, we back. All right, my bad. Anyways, yeah, I was looking for a price to push down. So let's go into lower time frames now. Let's kind of clear this up. Now that you guys understand my concept, delete. Whoa. All right. Let's go ahead and hit up the 1 minute time frame because that's where it was at. So as I said, we are inside this box, this rectangle. I seen this counter trend line break. I didn't take this position right here. I was either sleeping or I was just not on the charts. But when I came back, I seen that the counter trend broke, and then I seen that we formed some kind of consolidation right here. So I said to myself, as long as we can maintain this high point, we should be very, very good for sales. And if we break these lows, that would be a perfect entry. I seen a huge bearish candle. Wait for it. Very, very strong. No. There we go. And I said, okay, cool. We should break eventually. If not now, we should eventually start making lower high points and, you know, continue breaking. So I just took my entry. As I said, this was my main target, but brick by brick builds the house. I don't need to get there today. So just really having base hit wins will eventually build the account. I risked $50 on this position. Mind you, the account's at $238. I risked $50 on this position to make $25. Guaranteed hits. Price hit my target. Closed my laptop, moved on for the day. That's it. As he said, I could have, yeah. And obviously, when I look back, I'm like, oh, I could have made that money. No, that's how I used to think. No, it's not that I could have made that money. You go to Thanksgiving, you go to dinner, you go to certain things. Everybody gets a birthday cake. Everybody gets a pie. Whatever, cool. When we cutting that birthday cake or we cutting that pie, how many slices do you really have? One, maybe two. So go for a 1-to-1. Go for a 1-to-2. Why the hell do you need the entire pie? Like, do you need a 1-to-8 every time? Do you eat 8 slices? That's how I think of life. That's how I think of the market. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, brick by brick will build the house. You do not need the entire pie right now. Me, I don't even eat an entire slice a lot of times. Look at me. I'm going for a 0.5 risk reward. I would eventually get there. Whether you beat me there, whether I beat you there, or whatever, like, I'm eventually get there. And that's how I look at things. It's better to grab little by little than get nothing at all. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm saying that based on experience. I've seen where not only people, but I've seen even myself. And it's not greed, but you have a strategy that says you need to target 3 times your risk, 4 times your risk, 5 times your risk. And you might win one. You might lose the next one, win one, next one, lose. You know what I'm saying? It could get really, really stressful. And I'd rather know I'm going to wake up to have a 90% chance of winning my trade. That's how I like to think. I don't like to be like, oh, I'm having a 10% chance of winning my trade. But because my risk reward is so big, I'm still going to be profitable. Hell no, I'm not winning 10% of my trades and losing 90% of my trades just to be profitable off of one. I don't want to say lucky hit, one good trade. No. I'll get there little by little. And emotionally, it helps me so much more. I mean, come on, getting up and winning. But that was Monday's trade. Then we're gonna go over, I think I took a trade Tuesday. I mean, I have everything on the screen still. I didn't really clear everything off. As you can see, we're pushing down, and I didn't have a specific schedule when I took these. I kind of just, whenever I felt like getting on my charts, I got on, honestly. But we pushed down to these lows. Very, very, very simple trade. Was this doing the Asian session? Let me see time. 3 a.m. No, this is like a London session. All right, but we pushed down, but I was watching it from Asian. Look how we respected these lows when we tapped. That's 1 tap. Look how we respected these lows when we tap. Look at the reaction. That's 2 taps. Look at this reaction. 3 taps. All I did is tap the zone again, like how we pushed up here. We went to the zone. I went on the lower time frame and looked for a break of structure, and that was it. I seen structure start breaking. This was a good entry to take, but I waited a little bit longer for the retest. Seeing us pushing up, gave a nice little bullish and a bear variation candle, and then here we go. Quick 0.5 risk reward. That was my trade. End of the discussion. Like, cool. I risked once again $50 to make $25. So now we're up an extra $50 for the week. Now we could keep going. Let's kind of look. I don't believe I traded Wednesday. No, I did not. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And Thursday, we caught some good action. We pushed down, very aggressive, into another zone. That's all I'm looking for. I could kind of delete these now. Yeah, I don't need these anymore. But we pushed down into another zone. I could just stick really on this. Let me go in a 4 hour time frame so you guys can see it easier. But just another low point in the market. Look at rejections. We struggled here. We struggled here. We struggled here. This entire area. Look, tap, 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 and here we go again. I'm seeing consolidation in this area. I'm seeing dojis in this area showing signs of indecision and exhaustion. I'm also seeing price create some kind of higher low points, higher low points, higher low points, showing that momentum is being built up. Now, are we going to be bullish for a while? I wasn't really thinking that at the moment, but what I did notice is last time we tapped to the zone of buying pressure, we had a very good amount of buying pressure, which created a counter trend to eventually drop. So I'm looking for a potential counter trend to eventually drop. This counter trend was based on a 4 hour time frame, was enough for me to actually, grab some good buying opportunities on the lower time frame. So we're gonna make our way to the 10-minute, where I think I placed my first. Yeah, this was it. So I've seen, as I said, consolidation going in based on this time frame. We kind of broke above areas of resistance like this. See what I'm saying? And then now I'm looking for a continued push. I went on the 1 minute time frame and I seen a counter trend break. You guys can see we have a little counter trend, and once again, a counter trend is a trend that's counterproductive towards the main trend. So if you look and the main trend, based at least on the 1 minute time frame, looks pretty bullish, like, you can just not even don't even look too hard, but you can just see that we're pushing in an upwards direction. A counter trend, which is counterproductive to the main trend, would be in the opposite direction, so it would be a bearish. So as you could see, while we're pushing bullish overall, we do have small bearish trends within this main trend. Even right here, we have a small bearish trend within the main trend, and once we kind of break, you can take advantage of these opportunities. Even right here, look at that. You could definitely take advantage of a lot of these pushes using the counter trend line tool, I guess I could say. So once again, you see it happen here, 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 and then all I did is draw the counter trend. I'm seeing us breaking above. We're creating higher low points, meaning that buying pressure is getting stronger and stronger. All I did is take advantage and catch a piece of the move. I just risked 50 again to make 25, and pretty much a guaranteed win. We pushed up into some kind of zone. I was based on the 1 hour time frame. Where are we at? Look at this area right here. That's all we did. An area that we struggled at. We pushed up, rejected, very, very aggressive. And all I said to myself is, okay, if we rejected this area, even though we can still continue to potentially push, make the counter trend, I do know that once we push, we do eventually have to retrace. And this is the area that could create the selling pressure enough to actually give us the retracement. And if we do retrace, this is an area I'm open to, be looking for buying opportunities from. So we pushed up into this zone, and on the lower time frame, I was able to see a heads and shoulders pattern along with breaking the neckline, which I waited on. And once we kind of started breaking underneath, creating bearish structure and bearish momentum candles, I went ahead and I popped off my entry, and all I needed is 1.5 candles to actually hit my TP. Once again, risking $50 to make $25, putting me up an extra $100 in some change, so about $105 this week on top of $238. So we're sitting pretty nice. 4 for 4 this week. As I said, obviously you could see I could have taken a lot more, bigger moves and all that, but it's not about what I could have done. It's about what I decided to do at the moment, and I had to accept it, and I'm very happy with it. That's the thing about trading, y'all. A lot of you make a decision but don't accept the decision. You will say, oh, I'm going for a 1-to-1. You get the 1-to-1 and you see that price is still pushing, so you get back in because you haven't accepted a decision that you made from beforehand. But if every time before I trade I say, yo, I'm going for a 1-to-1 today, or I'm going for a 1-to-2, or I'm going for a 1-to-3, once I say that, I accept that I'm doing that. So if I'm holding for a 1-to-3, and price starts reversing at a 1-to-1, I'm going to hold through because that is the plan I made, unless the market clearly is showing me that I am wrong, and then I will close my position. Otherwise, I'm holding to the 1-to-3. If I say I'm going for 0.5s for the week to actually get those base hits, then I'll go for 0.5s, and I'm going to be building on 0.5s for some time unless I see something super sweet. But as you guys can see, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I have a high win rate. I understand the market very, very well, so I'm going to be capitalizing off of these small moves, and money is money. That's why we're here to trade, not look fancy. We're here to make money, and I made bank this week, so very happy to say that. With that being said, man, let's get back to the vlog.
Hey man, well, I hope y'all enjoy the breakdown. I'm about to go get me some KFC real quick and see what it's talking about. One thing to know, if you go to the Caribbean, the barbecue fried chicken, appreciate it. One thing to know, in the Caribbean, barbecue chicken hits so different in KFC. It's literally nothing like America, I promise you. All right, so we got the KFC. See what it's talking about real quick. About a mess of the whole box. Yes, sir. So we got a barbecue chicken. Got a biscuit. Got some fries in there. Then y'all know we got the fruit punch. Hey. KFC biscuits. So good. America could never. Ready. Look at how much barbecue is on this. Come on. Tell me I'm not crazy. Hey y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all socials, man. I'll see you on the next video. I'm out.